What's up, guys? So I actually had a different video planned to film today, but unfortunately it decided to pour down rain and it was really gloomy outside, and now it's starting to get a little bit nicer, but I'm already set up for this video instead. So in this video I am going to be showing you basically all my gear, because I've been asked several times, what gear I use. So I'm going to show you guys what I started with and what gear I have now. And in a later video, I'm going to make a follow-up to this, just talking about what you really need to get started in YouTube, which really isn't much at all, honestly. If you have a camera phone even, or a GoPro, that's really all you need. Just get started, go out and do it. I know that's kind of cliche right now, and I really hate saying that, but that's really all you need to do, is just go do it, get started, and then worry about, getting more gear later on as you get more subscribers and as your funds allow. But with that being said, I'm going to get started here and show you all what I have. I'm not going to take you off the tripod right now. I'm actually going to switch over to my GoPro and show you that, so that I could film this camera that I'm using right now, which is my Sony. So I'm going to switch to the GoPro, and then I'm going to show you all the gear that I started with. Alright guys, so this right here is what I started with when I started this channel, and it's really not all that much. So I'm going to start over here on the left and work my way right. First of all, I have this Low Pro camera bag. I don't know the model number. I want to say it's like A300 or something like that. But it's pretty sweet. You have plenty of space inside. It's starting to get small for all the camera gear that I have, but you could actually fit a lot of stuff in here. Extra batteries, extra chargers. I have my extra lens. This is my telephoto lens, usually rides right in there. Up top you have more stuff. It's really not that bad. It's a little bit small for everything I have right now, but it took me about 3 years to outgrow this bag. So I'm very happy with that. It also has this unique feature where it has one strap, which again is kind of a pain if you have a lot of camera gear like I do. It could cause back pain if you're, humping this around all day. But other than that, if it's just a smaller camera that you have or something, or not a lot of gear, it's really not that bad. But the cool thing about this strap is whenever you're wearing it, it allows you to unbuckle one point, and then it rotates around so that you could have access to your camera right here. And they even have little pouches for SD cards and anything that you might need, and your camera could ride right in here with this flap still up. So it's great if you're a tourist or you're going around taking pictures and you have your camera in and out of your bag a lot. So I love this bag. It's an awesome bag. For as much gear as I have at this point, I'm looking to get something a little bit bigger and something with 2 straps. But up to this point, it has served me very well. I obviously have some of these, lens wipes. I use these only for my lens. If I need to wipe the LCD screen, I usually just use a t-shirt. Both of these are circular polarizer lenses, which help a lot in cutting out sun glare, and especially reflections on windows in cars. Next, I have, obviously, this is all my camera gear, except for this. This is a Delkin dual mount suction cup for my windshield. So basically any videos that you see of the interior of my car when I'm driving, this is the mount that I'm using, and it is sturdy enough to support this camera, which is about 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds. Basically anything else is not sturdy enough, I've found. Of course, I'm not driving crazy 900 horsepower Evos like David Patterson. I believe he broke his. But this is awesome, and it does the job for me. It's great for what I need, and is plenty sturdy. So I'm going to get to my camera in a second, but obviously it came with an extra charger. I started with 1 battery, which doesn't last very long, especially if you're shooting HD video. I have 2 of these sunshades for the lens to help with lens flares and glare. It really cuts down on that. But this right here is the camera that I started YouTube with. It is a Sony A77. I believe you could still probably find them on Amazon. You might be able to find a used one. But as far as I know, they don't make these anymore. I think they have the A99 now or something like that. I'm not really sure. I've kind of been out of the loop. but you do not need anything near, you know, this powerful or expensive to get started. I was into photography long before I was into YouTube, so that's the main reason I purchased this camera. It actually shoots up to 12 frames per second, and I think it has like 23 megapixels. I really don't know all the specs offhand, but it's a very powerful camera, and especially when it comes to video, it's very great. There are much cheaper, you know, cameras you can go with. If I was only buying a camera for YouTube and only for video, I would definitely have gone with a Canon T3i or a T5i or something like that, because quite frankly, this camera is way more camera than I need for video, but it's what I have, and since I do photography as well, you know, this works for me. But don't think that you need something this serious to get into YouTube, because you really don't. It came with this lens here, which is a 16 to 50 millimeter kit lens, and I also opted for this 55 to 300 millimeter telephoto zoom lens. It was actually part of a package deal that I got, and I got an awesome price on it from B&H Photo. Most of my camera gear does come from B&H because they're awesome and they're close to me, so you know, shipping only takes a couple days. But they're a solid store, and I've never had an issue with them. But anyway, that's my whole camera setup right there. This mangled bird's nest right here is the first microphone I started with. It is a Polson OLM10. I found this on B&H for 20 bucks. You may be able to get it even a little bit cheaper off of Amazon. This microphone is a good mic to get started with, and I'll talk about this more in my next video when I talk about, you know, buying equipment and getting started. It's a good microphone for the money. It's actually a great microphone for the money. My biggest complaints are that the wires get tangled up, and it uses a battery, and it has this on and off switch. So that's the three biggest issues that I had with it. Either A, the wire was always tangled, B, the battery would be dead, or C, I would forget to turn it off. And in fact, I've had to reshoot more video footage from this stupid microphone, you know, me forgetting to turn on the microphone, than anything else. But if you're just getting started, it's 20 bucks and it's an awesome value. I started with this cheap POS garbage Dynex tripod here. I'm just kidding. It's actually a pretty good tripod for the money. It's like 30 to 40 bucks at Best Buy. There's many different brands that sell the same exact design, but it's a cheap photo tripod, so don't expect any type of smoothness out of it. It's really not that great. It works decent for pictures. It works decent for video. If you have a larger camera like I do, it's a little bit sketchy. Forget about putting a slider on it. I've tried, and in fact, that's what this red stuff is. It's actually Subaru, if you've ever heard of that. It's basically a, I don't know, like a silicone putty compound that actually gets hard and turns into like a rubber. I put this all over to try and firm it up a little bit so that it wouldn't wobble so much when I was using a slider, but even with that, it was still terrible and wasn't working at all. So I upgraded eventually. But this is a great tripod to get started, especially if you could find one used or on sale or something like that. You know, a tripod is pretty much needed for getting started, but this has served me well. It served me well when I was into photography, and I still use it. I like that it's a lot lighter than my actual video tripod that I use now. So this is an awesome tripod for the money. And that's really all I have. This is what I started with. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Like I said, this camera is a little bit high end, but you really don't need to start with that. And that's basically all you need.